Hello and welcome to my third episode of A Guide Through the Ages. Last time we played a game versus a computer and got so far as we finished the first age, and now we're gonna continue the same game. As you can now see, there's a custom game and we can just simply continue, and it gives us the same game where we left off. Now the age ended, as you can see here, begin of age 2. All civilizations lose 2 yellow tokens from their yellow banks, as always at the beginning of a new age. And it's Green's politics phase, and Green played an aggression. And we have to defend now, where we can see we have a strength of 2 and he has one of 6. So we can play one of our 2, so we are at 4. Then we could also play another one of these, and we're at 6. Now we can also keep one of these and play 2 other cards, because we have 3 military actions. You can play up to 3 cards. Now I'm gonna see what cards I don't need. I'm not gonna need the aggression myself, because obviously I'm very far behind. It's gonna take a long time before I can play aggressions. So that is a very obvious move. And then we have 2 tactics and 1 cultural influence card. It says each civilization immediately scores culture equal to the amount of culture it produces. You can see right now we produce 2 culture and Green produces also 2. And Green has the St. Peter's Basilica wonder, which will also grant him 2 culture production once he's finished it. So it's not the best card for us, but it's the only green card we have. So if we really want to play politics and we lose this card, then we can't anymore. I'm not sure if I want to play politics right now. The other question is, do we need this card, the fighting band? We could also go for Legion, where we need 1 warrior more. And I think that is a very good option, so I won't need fighting band. And as you can see, 6, so I can defend. Now you can see again what he does. He develops irrigation, builds 1 stage of St. Peter's Basilica, disbands a unit of warriors because he needs it to keep his peace, because else he would have had an uprising. Then he takes some cards. Okay, so he didn't build any more military. He stayed at 6 actually, because he built 1 temple, and as John says, each temple gives him +1 strength for each smileys or happy faces, and each religion gives him 1 happy face. So it's our turn now. We can consider playing cultural influence. Let's see, he played 3 and there's 1 from age A left. Now we talked about it before, about these wonderful 2 cards, development cards, development of warfare and of religion, where we need 1 free worker. As you can see now, we do have 1 free worker and he does not. So if this card is in fact one of those 2, then we can use him and he doesn't. So I want to play cultural influence. It won't be very bad for us. Maybe he scores 1 or 2 culture more, but when we play it we also score 1 culture, and it's not something where we will be punished if we are weaker as we are right now. So I have no problem playing this card. Okay, we do 3 more military cards, which is very nice for us, because we just spent 3 cards defending against his aggression, and we can use them really well. And now we can take and play our civil cards. Let's see, we have urban growth. I have to get back into the game a bit, because I played the first half yesterday and now I'm playing this age, so I need some time to think. We have lots of science, so we don't need more science production right now. We could use the urban growth to build one temple. Sorry. And that doesn't look bad. So we produce one culture more. For example, if cultural influence is played or turned up next turn, then we produce one more. So it's better than having one unhappy idle worker here. And it costs only one resource, which we have enough. Then we could go for the Legion. So we would need one more warrior, and we can play this. And we are comfortably at 5. Then we maybe want to keep options open for the knights, but actually we are in H2 now, so the tactics are changed, and we could also wait for the cavalrymen, because we at the time don't have any tactics from H1 where we need knights, and knights are strong, but they can't fulfill these tactics, so it's also possible to wait for cavalrymen, and they also only cost 1 science more, and they bring more strength per yellow token. So I think I'm gonna wait and don't need knights. I can play irrigation. Also get 1 resource by Leonardo. I can also play reserves to get resources, and we can actually upgrade 2 of our farms to irrigation. This way we produce lots of food right now, and next turn we have 4 food and can increase our population, and later we can use our science and not give them for the knights but for the cavalrymen. So I'm very happy with this turn. We are back in the strength game, and yeah, I'm gonna end the turn now and see what green does. Okay, there's a culture influence. Both score 3, so it was a good decision to play it, maybe. It's hard to say right now, but it didn't hurt us, and we scored 1 by playing it. And he plays cultural heritage, he takes the knights, develops the knights, and does he build 1 knight? Yes, he does. And he takes efficient upgrade. I also would have liked that, and he doesn't have a tactic. That's very important information for us. Actually, he only has 1 card from H1 left right now, so it wasn't that likely that he had a tactic from H1. Now we have to think if we want to skip politics again or play one of those green cards. We can't declare a war because we are weaker, and we can't play an aggression because we are weaker. So the question is, do we want to play one of these cards? Now, National Pride gives 5 culture to the civilization with the most culture. We have 15 right now, and he is at 20, so we don't want to play that because it's very likely that he will be ahead still with the culture when it is turned up. Also, again, with his St. Peter's Basilica, he will produce even more culture right now. So this card is good if you have an early high culture production, but we don't really, or at least we don't have more culture production than green right now. This is Crime Wave, where the weakest civilization loses 3 culture and 1 blue token. It's gonna take quite some time to until this card will come up. As you can see, there's 3 more cards in the current events deck, and we don't really know right now if or will we be stronger than he will, than him when this card comes. Though one might play this, it's a fine decision, but I don't like it. I don't know what these cards are. There might be a punishment for the weaker player or some upside for the stronger player, which are a lot of H1 cards, so I don't want to play politics right now, so I'm gonna skip. Now, as we said, we have 4 food, and if we can increase our population, we usually do it. Now, we also we have no real option to increase our strength, and we don't need to. We have 3 military actions, and he's only 3 in front. We also have 1 extra of these cards if we really needed it. So I don't think we're gonna play anything with military right now. What we can do is upgrade one of our mines to iron, because when we invested quite a lot into developing iron, so we want as many of our mines to be iron, so it's worth more. Now we can take some cards. We could take Isaac Newton, which gives again an upgrade to our labs, and some civil actions we get back when we develop things. But I don't really think that's the best course right now, because we have so much science already. We could take Johann Sebastian Bach, but we don't have any theaters, and he shines with theaters, or if we wanted to play theaters. We can try it out. If we take him now, we don't. We could also take Opera, which is a nice combination, and it costs us 2 less to develop the Opera. And once during your turn, you may spend a civil action to upgrade any urban building to a theater of the same level or higher for the usual resource cost. So we could, in theory, upgrade our temples to operas in our turn. And it also gives 2 culture production, which is really nice. Actually, I don't think that's a bad move, as we can take opera with it, and even urban growth, so we can build the operas cheaper. Again, this is urban growth from H2, so it gives a pay 3 less. I don't want to play Johann Sebastian Bach right now, because Leonardo still gives us +1 science, and that is really great. Johann Sebastian Bach would give us 2 culture. Yeah, but it's more flexible. Maybe we don't have the time next turn to play and Johann Sebastian Bach, and I want to keep Leonardo for now. It's still early in H2, so we might need some science boost instead of going full culture right now. But urban growth is really good, so I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna discard the aggression. It's really hard to get aggression through. It costs 2 military actions too. We only have 3. I like the war more. Wars are always worth more in my hand, I feel. And it's gonna be one of those 2 because we are weaker, and I'm gonna discard the aggression. And see, Wien gets foray. As he played it, the strongest civilization on your turn gain a total of 3 food or resources, which is really nice for the stronger player. And he chose 3 resources, I assume, and finishes. Yeah, probably will finish. Yeah, he finishes it without using engineering genius, which again is a quite questionable move, and takes a lot of yellow cards. And you might wonder why suddenly she has 10 strength. That is because the St. Peter's Basilica says each other card or wonder that gives you at least 1 happy face now gives you an extra 1 happy face. And so these religions don't produce 1 happy face but 2, and John gives +1 strength for each of their happy faces. This is a really nice combo with the Peter's Dome or St. Peter's Basilica and John and the temples. Makes them really strong, because these temples don't give that, what they say here. Actually they give 1 culture, 2 happy faces and 2 strength right now, which is really good for a building that costs only 3 resources. So it's our turn again. Again the question, do we play one of these green cards for politics phase? Because we took Johann Sebastian Bach and opera, we're gonna produce lots of culture pretty soon, so we might want to play National Pride. But we might not want to push this even further, as we don't know what is under there. But National Pride gives us 2 culture. Let's see, we have 18 and he has 27 and produces 5. It's pretty... yeah, I'm not gonna play National Pride right now, and the territory... I'm not gonna play the territory because we only have 3 military actions. He also has 3, but he has lots of cards. And it's we also spent one of these cards already, so it's more likely that he has these colonization cards, and we don't have any from H2, and we don't know if we will draw some, and we don't want him to get this territory, and we can't really go for it because we don't have the necessary cards. So I'm gonna skip politics again. Now we can look what we do. First off, I see we have nationalism and I like it. It says for each civilization stronger than yours, you have an extra 6 resources for building and upgrading military units this turn. So it gives a really big boost in resources for building military units. We are the weaker player, so it's a very good choice for us. And as you can see, normal yellow cards from H2 give 3 resources less, and nationalism actually gives us 6, so double the bonus. And then we might consider taking Transcontinental Railroad, and as our best mine produces 1 extra blue token and also gives 5 strength. We have pretty good mines, and 1 extra, if one of those iron mines gives us 1 blue token extra, we will have 2 resource production more, which is really nice. But we have to be careful. He's at 10, we are only at 5. We have this card 2, and then we can play 2 more cards, so we would be at 4, which is not good for us right now. So we also might want to take cannon. Then we could play develop cannon, but the problem is we don't have anyone to build a cannon. So let's see what we can do. We would need more smileys to get this one for free, so he doesn't have to be idle anymore, but we can't. Also, if we don't really need these in the long run, because we do this tactic, which is really good, but we need cavalrymen and cannons for it, so we don't need these warriors in the long run. But we can't destroy one and build one, then we're still at 5. So we have to think about something else, and it's really hard to think and talk, so I'm gonna see what we can do. We could develop cannons and then destroy one of our mines, which doesn't feel good, but maybe it's necessary. We don't want green to get an aggression on us, and then it's very bad. I think this is fine. It's not great by no means, but we have to do what we have to do. and yeah, I don't see a better play. Soon we can also get cavalryman, and then we can maybe we get it next turn. He already has knights, so he doesn't really want cavalryman, and we can get it. We can discover it and build one knight or cavalryman, and I have this tactic, and then we are very strong. Yeah, so it has to be right now. It's a bad turn for now, but it's gonna be good in the long run. And we might want to discard National Pride now. It's maybe with Johann Sebastian Bach, but it's gonna take a long time until we are in front of him in culture. So I'm gonna also discard Wealthy Territory, because as I said, I don't want it to play it because we don't have the necessary colonization cards. Then I might want to keep the war again, and the aggression not. No, I'm gonna discard the aggression because we need one green card always in our hand, basically, because if we are in front we want to play something, and having no green cards in hand can be very bad if we want to play politics to push the event stack forward. And the aggression, as I said before, it's really hard to get through. So now we only produce 4 resources. We do another war. The Crusades, we lose 4 culture and he scores 4 culture. So he's even more culture now, and it's good that we didn't play what's it called? National Pride. Yeah, that's the name. Okay, so again the question for politics. Again, I don't want to play one of these green cards, so we have to consider, do we want to play a technology? First thought is no, we don't. If we skip politics, we can test out how much strength we can get. Biggest problem, we only have 3 military actions. So if we could take cavalrymen, develop them, disband one of those, build one of those, and so we have 13, again not that much, and we don't have the military actions to play the war. So we don't want to play a war this turn. But the rest of the turn might even be good. Cavalryman, as we said last turn, we want to play it. We can develop it. Now we also might want to play Wave of Nationalism, so we don't have to pay that much. Then we need someone to be a cavalryman, and we don't need the warriors anymore, so it's very good to disband them. Yeah, it's what I did before, right. Now let's see what we can do with the rest. We could play Bach right now. Then we could also play opera, and we can build an opera. That pushes us to 9 science, 9 culture production. We are in front of him in military, and if we use this, we can easily see what is up. We also produce the same amount of resources. We produce more science and now more culture. We are a bit behind in culture, but we produce more now, and we are in front of him military wise. And we have a very good position for military. We can also disband these 2 in the next turns and build 2 more of those and have a very good military. So we have the military to defend our culture production. We took Bach already, and so we have to play the theater at one point, and this is really a good turn. We gave all our actions for it, and I really like this turn. I can throw away one of these wars. You won't need both, and confirm. Now green plays, okay, rebellion. Each civilization immediately spends 2 civil actions per discontent worker. neither one of us has discontinued workers, so no effect. And she has to think. Green plays patriotism. Okay, she wants to do something with military. Green develops iron. Builds one stage of the wonder. Plays frugality, increases the population. And upgrades a mine. Upgrades another mine. And builds a knight. Okay, and okay, she got a very good tactic for her. That's bad for us, but no problem. As you can see, I'm gonna jump to her. This tactic, give her 8 ranks. She had no tactic before, so suddenly she built one knight like this, and she is at 20. Really strong for her. Now we have to again consider, do we want to play anything? We don't have no idea what's under here. That's very bad for us. But we never had we never played politics because we were always weaker than her. So again, when we are weaker and have no idea what's under there, generally I don't want to play politics. Now we can increase our population, and we again have to build one military, but I have to get more strength because 7, and we can't defend against aggression with 7. We also might want to take strategy. It's a really good card. Gives 3 strength and 2 military actions, and we need both of them right now. And we can also develop it. We have no corruption. We have really good. We have yeah. We don't have to build anything. We also don't have to play this because with 16 we can defend against an aggression. We might want to play this. Then next turn we can build another one of these. Sadly with 19 we are still behind. Yeah, why not? I mean, we have the military actions, and why not? We're gonna build one eventually anyway, and now is a good time as any. Fast turn, ended. And another war. So there are only 4 wars in the game, in H2 I mean. Okay, let's do his turn or her turn first. The strongest on your turn, you may take civil cards up to the value of 5 civil actions by giving up your next political action. Replenish the card row. Okay, does he do it? Yes, he does. He took lots of cards, and it's H3. That means green loses Joan of Arc, green discards Engineering Genius 1, and I discarded one H1 military card, the strength and colonization card. And that's H2 for us. It's a really interesting game, even though it's against an AI. And I hope that I can win this game, actually. And yeah, I'm gonna see you in the next video.